Hey guys, hope everything's going good. It's early for me where I'm at. I believe it's 10 in the morning, maybe 9. I hope everyone's doing great. New Year's is coming up. Again, I hope you guys have a great New Year's Eve and a New Year's Day. And I hope your new year for 2025 is great. And like I always say, for every other video, for the people that where things aren't always so great, God loves you. I wish the best for you. And I hope that God great blesses and gives you guys grace. Sorry, I just woke up. I'm still a little wonky. I just wanted to talk about what I wanted to talk about today was the upcoming fight with Gervonta versus Lamont Roach. Gervonta Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach. That's coming up, I believe, March 1st. There was rumors that the fight was canceled, something about something being posted online saying the fight was canceled. I doubt it. I doubt that it is. I got done watching the press conference again. I watched it a little bit more this time. I watched it yesterday. They seem like Tank and Lamont seem like they are getting along since they're both pretty much from the same area. Tank's from Baltimore, Maryland, and Lamont's from Washington, D.C. He's from the District of Columbia, so he's from Washington, D.C. And both of those spots are in a region known as the DMV. You know, I'm not sure if you guys have ever heard of Delaware. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have. Everybody knows what Washington, D.C. is. That's the, nation's capital. Everyone has heard of Baltimore, Maryland. So they're from the same area, basically. Where I'm from, if I were to say, where I'm from originally, it's a whole region. I'll talk about that in another video too, actually. But anyway, Tank versus Roach. This isn't a fight that I personally wanted to see Tank go into. I wanted to see him fight, someone like Shakur Stevenson and someone like Teofimo Lopez. And, I heard that Loma had broken his back. Well, not broken, but he has a back injury. And I believe he's 38 years old now, or going to be 38 years old. So, hopefully he can, heal up and, do a couple more fights and, retire at some point. He's had a great career, Loma. So I would have loved to see Tank fight him when, he was a little bit younger. I don't blame Tank for not fighting, the Shakur, for not fighting Shakur Stevenson. I don't blame Tank for not fighting Teofimo. I don't blame him for not fighting Loma. And the reason why is this. Shakur's a great fighter. He understands distance. He's a master at that. It's incredible how he's able to stand there and hit you and you cannot hit him. And, the game of boxing is this. We don't play boxing, but, if there were rules to the game's this. Hit and don't get hit. Make him miss, make him pay. That is the way of boxing. You want to be able to hit and not get hit. Shakur has definitely mastered that. Part of me thinks Shakur doesn't like to get hit, and I'm not asking him to get hit or to sustain an injury. He's an incredible fighter. But at some point, hopefully he has a fight where he understands, all right, I got to bring more of my defensive skills to the forefront now. Because I believe he has more potential. Shakur is a very special fighter, so I believe he could really give the best that he can give defensively and show us his true defensive skills, similar to James Toney, Mayweather, Willie Pep. Great defensive fighters. Ezra Charles, the Cincinnati Snake, Ezra Charles, great defense. So, okay, Gervonta. I think Gervonta might be in it. I really do. I think Gervonta might really be in it for the long haul with Lamont. I don't know what could happen, but Lamont seems the least intimidated by him. Tank isn't necessarily bringing that energy, even though he's gotten a little, intense like he normally does. Tank can get intense during press conferences to sell the fight, but he hasn't really been doing that. I seen a picture of him hugging his coach, Coach Calvin Ford, and it looked like everything was cool. I don't see his coach sitting with him. I don't see Leonard sitting with him. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening exactly. But it seems that Tank is doing things on his own in the way, in his press conference. In the press conference, I'm sorry guys, I'm still a little groggy. In the press conference before the one that I was watching, before they did a face-off, Tank had said that he's done with boxing. Tank had said that boxing is that it sucks, that it's trash. I'm not sure if he's talking about the business side of it. I'm not sure if he's just talking about it in general, but it seems like he's going through something. Sometimes it seems like that. In this last press conference that was over, I believe, 2 to 3 weeks ago, he seemed fine. He seemed all right. Seemed like he was ready to fight. I will say that I think that he might have it in for himself with Lamont. I believe that Lamont could beat Tank? I can't necessarily say he can, because I don't underestimate no fighter at all. I don't underestimate anybody at all. No fighter, no human being. People are incredible, and they're capable of incredible things. But what I will say is, I think that Gervonta could lay a good beating on him, but I see Lamont being able to sustain that and possibly go all 12 rounds and maybe even win half those rounds and possibly win by unanimous decision. It could possibly happen. I don't know, but we'll see. I do believe forthrightly that Tank could easily defeat Lamont Roach. I do believe some of what, people are saying, that this is a cherry-pick fight. I do see that as, I see that as the basis of what this fight is. That it's a cherry pick, and that Tank could have easily added a little bit more to his career by fighting Shakur or Teofimo. I do believe that he could have done that, especially Shakur. That fight is considered a super fight to a lot of people for this weight division, which is lightweight, I believe. For this lightweight division, that's considered a super fight, and it would have been nice to see Tank fight somebody that a lot of people wanted to see him fight, because he's capable of it. The thing about Tank is that he's capable of fighting the very people that a lot of people want him to fight. Like, he can fight a Teofimo. He could fight Vasily Lomachenko. He could fight Shakur Stevenson. And he could win all 3 fights. I genuinely believe Tank is that good. And I'm not even just saying that. I like Tank a lot. I do. But objectively, I believe Tank is actually that good. His ring IQ is amazing. His measuring of distance and knowing what shots to pick when against and facing his opponent, changing the plan up in a split second live during a fight is incredible. His ability to do that is amazing. And on top of that, the boy got power like no other. He can land power shots like they're like a fat man eats cupcakes, man. That's a terrible analogy, but shit. That's how good he is. Tank is a great fighter. So when I see him fighting a Lamont Roach, it's like, Tank, man, yeah, I'll tune into the fight. Of course, I love boxing. I'll watch this fight. But Tank, you are so much better than this, man. You can definitely fight and beat a Shakur. And I know he got mad during, not during, after the press conference. He got mad that someone even mentioned Shakur. He said, what has Shakur done? Well, Shakur has unified his weight class. He's got his belts, Tank. He's doing things. And again, I think people need to question as well, because Tank kind of has a point. People do need to question as well. Most of the fights that Shakur's had, he's fought real good people, but a lot of good fighters. But were the fighters anybody of stature that would allow him to be pushed to the limit to show his abilities? I mean, like, really think about it. A lot of people saying Tank doesn't want to fight these fighters. A lot of people are saying that. But have we ever really questioned, do most of those fighters want to fight Tank? Do you think a Shakur wants to fight Tank? A Shakur Stevenson wants to fight Tank? Do you really think that Vasily Lomachenko, as great as he is, do you think he wants to fight Tank? Teofimo fights anybody, so I believe Teofimo would want to fight Tank. I'm just saying, when we really think about these fighters, Keyshawn Davis was calling Tank out as well, and I don't know if Tank responded or not. He did mention Keyshawn after the press conference, after he spazzed out about Shakur Stevenson. He did mention Keyshawn Davis. But I truly believe that Tank could easily defeat those three fighters. Regardless of anything, I do believe that. So, you know, Lamont's a great fighter. He won his last fight. He hadn't fought a while since his last fight. So I don't really know where he's at in terms skill-wise. I watched his last fight, and it seems like he understands. You know, he got a good measure in the distance. He knows how to use his jab. He knows how to land combinations when he needs to. He's strong on the inside, and he's not afraid to push. He's definitely not afraid to push. So, you know, he knows how to apply pressure. He knows how to stand up against someone. He knows how to walk someone down. He was doing pretty good in that fight. I forgot who he had fought. I watched it about a week ago. But I do remember paying attention to his style and how he was moving and whatnot. He's a good fighter. I just want to make sure that he does the same thing against Tank, because I do believe he could put some work on Tank. The last fight Tank had was against Frank Martin. I remember that because I was just watching Frank Martin yesterday. I was watching one of his older fights. So I remember that opponent that he had. Frank Martin, the best way it seems to beat Tank, possibly, if you have a chance, is to keep him away with the jab and to work on the combinations along with the jab. So off the jab, you hook, then you move. Off the jab, you hook, you land across, and then you move. You got to continue moving. You cannot be stationary, because Tank's a monster. He's an animal. When he gets close enough to you, when he works on it, when he applies the pressure and you ain't moving and you're not utilizing that jab, Tank is going to find a way. He's going to find a habit, a pattern. He's going to find something. He's going to find a combination that you landed. Let's say you land a jab, lead hook, and then you try to land a cross, and then that's all you land. He's going to figure that out. He's going to walk through that, and he's going to fuck you up. That's exactly what he did with Frank Martin. Frank Martin was moving around. He was landing his combos, moving around, landed his combos, moving around, landed his combos. Had he kept doing that, he would have lasted all 12 rounds, and he possibly could have won unanimously by decision. But he didn't do that. He got stationary, laid his back on the ropes, stood there, was trying to weave, slip, roll out of a punch, was trying to do something, and it wasn't there. Whatever he was trying to look for wasn't there. Just like he said. I was trying to look for something and it wasn't there. It wasn't there. And you got stationary and then Tank clocked you. And this is no disrespect towards Frank Martin. Great fighter. Great fighter. Love the guy. Really do. He's a humble person. He really is. I just want to say that this fight that Tank got going on, if Lamont can stick and move, if he can land a jab, a cross, if he could go ahead and move around and then look for the opportunity to land the uppercut on the inside, and then continue to jab and move, jab and move, jab and move, and land your combinations, I do believe that he could win this fight. Either by unanimous decision or maybe even TKO if he's strong enough. He doesn't seem like he's that strong, not as strong as Tank is, because Tank's power is so off the radar. But I do believe that he could win this fight if he does that. Because it seems the best way to get Tank to stay away from you and to win rounds against a fighter like him, what you need to do is you need to stick and move. Classic style. Stick and move. And land combinations, flurries of punches. You need to be able to do that against a fighter like him. You got to keep him away from you. Because I'm telling you, the closer he gets to you, when he walks you down, you got to be able to deal with that pressure. Because as he gets closer and closer and closer, something's going to happen to you. He's going to do something. And it's not going to be good. Well, I guess we'll see when March 1st comes around. Once I see the press conference for Bivol versus Beterbiev 2, I'll be speaking on that as well. I will also be uploading videos after I watch the entire fight of both fights I just mentioned. Also, when I see the press conference for Benavidez versus Morrell, that as well is in February. I forgot what part of February. I'm not sure if it's in the middle or beginning of February, but anyway, even after that as well, I'll be uploading that. I'll probably have another video out today speaking on something else. You guys will most likely see it once it's uploaded. But yeah, I hope this fight is entertaining. Hope it's good. I'll watch it. I'm not really happy about it. But again, if I'm going to talk about it, I'm going to watch it. And then I'm going to talk about it after I watch it. So that's how it's going to go down. All right, guys. Peace.